TV. I've been away. I didn't manage to do a video yesterday, but today I've just decided I must do it. And to cover up this before 9, I should have done a video. And welcome. I feel at home here, and I really appreciate those who are trying to push our channel as we target the 500 subscribers at the end of the month. You don't know what it means. By the way, as you watch, if all of us were watching and subscribing, we would actually be already at 1,000. So what are you waiting for? As if you like what we are doing here, it doesn't harm to subscribe to the channel. You may not have time to watch all our videos every day, but just by subscribing and coming to watch when you have time, I'm so happy about that. And it's not always that you come on live stream. You can actually watch our videos later after you've already posted, and you'll just get the same quality as what you will get when we are doing live stream. However, live stream is an interactive area that allows us to have some comments dropped by you as we respond to them. If you have questions based on what we are sharing, and have them. So I'll begin with what is happening in Sudan. Of course, you've seen that Sudan, a lot of people are suffering. I did another video, I hope you saw it. We've seen a lot of Sudanese people suffering atrocities, and some of them are displaced from their homes. We have those who can't attend schools. We have those who have lost jobs, and most of them are now staying in kind of refugee centers. Yeah, it's unfortunate for a country for this to happen to them, and how I wish that we should come out and become what we were, reclaim our place as Africa, because it's so sad that whatever is happening is Africa is trying to paint us in a very different picture. Did we lose it? And when did we lose it? When did the rain begin beating us? We have to understand that. And once we know, it will retrace our footsteps. I've gone through the history of Sudan, and what I understand, there was a religious kind of war that started between the South Sudan and North Sudan. And there was also a fight about the canal that was constructed. There was also oil. So it comes out that whenever resources come out, then it becomes a battlefield for many individuals. I don't know, whatever it is. And of course, we've seen even when you look at North Africa? Is it North Africa really? Where we have mines. We see that when those mines were discovered, very many people lost their lives, and even currently those who are there, they're just people coming up of late. And what is the essence of getting resources? Then they become a battleground. Of course, when I look at what happened in Sudan, then I look at what happens in Nigeria, and of course even Tanzania. People don't know why the war, Samia is really battling for Tanzania. Samia is selfish and fighting for Tanzania more because she knows that there is a mineral, a rare mineral in Tanzania. Of course, it was not discovered today or yesterday. Even during Magufuli time, it was discovered. And Magufuli, when he realized that, he began to fight for it. And somehow, we had stories about the American nations invading, and that's why they said, that was allegedly said, that's why he died. But the reality is this, that Samia has been indicating that we have countries which are interested in their minerals, and that is why they are causing a lot of fracas in Tanzania. I don't know how true is this, but what I can say is that when a country gets resources, I don't know why leaders become so selfish that they are ready to do anything, conduct a lot of atrocities, act in a beastly way, threaten so many people, fight with the citizens in a manner that they want to silence the voices and maybe access these resources and do whatever they want to do without anyone raising eyebrows. All right? And it's unfortunate, actually. It's not happening in Sudan alone, but it's also happening in many other countries. Now look at the situation of Nigeria, guys. Look at the situation of Nigeria. If I may tell you the truth, Nigeria is facing a difficult moment, especially the Middle East belt. When you start your journey from the end of Niger, Puerto, and get to this place called what? And Kaduna, get to that end. So many people are suffering there, and you will realize that there's a complexity around something. As far as they are calling it a religious war, indeed, so many Christians have died in the process. Yeah, Especially, I've even seen one of the person on my channel telling me that in Kaduna, a lot of Christians have been targeted and they have died, you know. So out of that, the only problem that is happening in Nigeria is not just death. We have displacement of people. Schools are closed down. We have problems in relation to, operation daily. Churches have been brought down. Resources have been destroyed. Now, what can I say about this? Of course, in Nigeria, we have Boko Haram, we have IWSP, we have also the Fulani people who are having conflicts with citizens, not just in relation to religion. In fact, there is no particular aspect of religion here. Whatever is happening is that we have land conflicts, we have herder and crop rearers conflict, we have conflicts in relation to resources, and what else? We can talk about what else? Maybe, yeah, of course, when we look at whatever is happening there with the ISWAP and, Boko Haram are affecting people, we realize that they abduct individuals, they destroy property, they kill, they raid villages. And of course, the displacement that is happening right there is so bad because people are fighting over land. We have land conflicts, harder farmer disputes. We have corruption happening. We have general insecurity as it happens elsewhere. And we have the weak governance. All right? And of course, as reports continue to emphasize that there's a Christian-Muslim violence, that is an overgeneralized statement. The reality is that when you look at data, we have even Muslims who have been affected. And it is not just a genocide against Christians as it is. It looks very controversial because the problem in Nigeria is multi-layered, if you have studied it. And therefore, my prayer is that Africa should recollect itself. Now look at Tanzania, for example. Tanzania has also lost a lot of lives. If you look at interviews that are currently happening, the reality is that a lot of people have lost lives, but the media will not be allowed to say it. You know, we've seen even some journalists now running away and getting to exile in Kenya or maybe other nations because they were targeted. Some of them are supposed to be arrested and put on treason charges. It's unfortunate, right? Very unfortunate. And when you look at that situation, a lot of young people are now currently in because Gen Zs include an age, most of them are below 20. Most. I said most. Okay? Even though we have older people who have been arrested like Tunilisu was arrested before and Heche, but majority of those who have been arrested are, the young people. And that is why now we are looking at celebrities like Diamond, Zuchu, and all those. They are now backing up the government. They have to stand with Suluhu because they fear, possibly they fear that by standing against the government, like we know there was a rapper artist who is now an MP known as Sugu T. He used to rap. And of course, we saw him visiting Tundulisu in jail and Tundulisu telling him, I missed you. And he was speaking in a manner that is more of a rap artist. So when we look at that situation, then we see that if we're not careful as Africa, we are crumbling down, which is a very bad situation because even now, look at South Africa itself. Can you imagine that South Africa should be a xenophobic land and yet we really honor South Africa given the high level of technology? Nigeria has been the second in this level of respect because of the population aspect, and also they found oil. And there is a company coming up in Nigeria known as Dangote. So when you look at that, automatically it's like if we compose ourselves, we are supposed to be growing as nations. But at the end of the day, instead of growing, we are going down morally and in whatever other levels. All right. So, of course, I want to show some things, but very few as I proceed. Now, if you listen to some politicians in Kenya or journalists, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And we've had a clear picture shared by Senator Onyonka. Senator Onyonka, Richard, is one of the most popular senators in Kenya, especially in terms of being vocal. And he says he would rather speak the truth and stick by that than just please some people. I want you to listen to him a little bit before we come to other matters that I want to address.
Where everybody...
Maggie, Masha, welcome.
I even see my senator friends. You see somebody arguing and saying how the government is a beautiful outfit, and in fact it's you people who are not seeing what the government has done. And there's a lawyer who's been fighting over human rights for years. So you ask, what happened to you? Then you are told, no, now one of his hospitals is the one which is being paid by SHA. Oh, you know what? Last financial year, the guy was given 800 million to do Maram roads in his constituency. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes. And then you are told, no. In fact, it wasn't a Maram road. They added another 1.3 billion. It's now supposed to be tarmacked. And half the money has already been paid. And the control of budget has said, I wouldn't pay that, but they are paid. And the Auditor General said, they sold 56 billion last year. They have stolen 196 billion. There's money that has come from donors. No one at the World Bank. All these things, when you pull them together, it's not that the president is not doing anything. It's that for everything he's doing, his friends are stealing money from the coffers.
Walk me from there to term limits.
Yes. So as a result, thank you. As a result, you see when you begin to see this largesse, you see this exclusivity, then the oligarchs form. Then you have a group of individuals who are going to be managing roads. There's another group which specifically deals with water. You know, water, you cannot get the evidence. Because you can say the pipes were laid and nobody will check. So they will be...
Yeah, and that's exactly, if you look at the high school literature, I don't know, is this why the syllabus has a lot of political books even from JSS section? I just don't understand. When you look at the books which the Form 4s are doing, Parliament of Oz, and you look at the book by Lara, the Samaritan, and you look at Fathers of Nation, they're all political books. I don't know. I just have to understand. And will that help? Somebody said that the Constitution should be part of the syllabus to make students understand the roles of the Parliament and what have you. Will it help when some teachers are literally interested in doing exams for students? I just don't know. These are politics that are very hard to deal with, but we have to talk about it anyways. So, of course, currently President RUTO is in Ukambani. Currently, the President RUTO is in Ukambani, and at some point he was actually encountered a very hostile crowd. Let's look at this.
Video so that you are able to useme ni ukweli, usiseme kwamba it's propaganda before we proceed. One down. One down. One down.
All right, so that was the president in Ukambani, and that his vehicles were passing by. This looked like, is it Machakos or Kitui? I'm just seeing as he's passing by. Of course, he went to Ukambani and he began to give them of the roads, giving them a new initiative and what he wants to do. But the reality is that he has already done a lot of harm And I want to bring you to attention that there is a very serious problem in government. The way they are hiring people, there is a lot of tribal hiring, okay? And I want you to look at this item here. Citizen TV.
Kabila tano kuu humu nchini zinashikilia zaidi ya 80% ya nafasi za kazi serikalini. Ripoti ya Tume ya Uwiano na Utangamano wa Kitaifa NCIC imeonyesha kuwa jamii za Wakikuyu, Wakalenjin, Waluo, Waluya na Wakamba pia zinashikilia 90% ya kazi za ngazi za juu serikalini, kabila nyingine zote zikikosa usawa. Sasa NCIC inaonya kuwa katika kukita mizizi kwa ukabila kwenye ajira za serikali kunazidi kutishia utangamano wa kitaifa, kama anavyotuarifu sasa Ben Kirwe.
Ni ripoti inayozua wasiwasi ikionyesha kuwa ukabila unaendelea kuwa donda sugu nchini. Jamii tano za Wakikuyu, Wakalenjin, Waluo, Waluya, Wakamba zikimulikwa na Tume ya Maridhiano na Uwiano NCIC kama ambazo zinazopendelewa katika ajira nchini. Jamii hizo pamoja na Wakisii, Wameru na Wamijikenda zikishikilia 88% ya ajira zote katika mashirika ya umma, huku 12% pekee zikisalia kugawanywa kati ya makundi madogo 37.
Control almost 90% of all the jobs.
Baadhi ya taasisi za umma zikimulikwa na tume hiyo kuwa na sifa hiyo mbaya ya kuendeleza ukabila.
We have one that is absolutely non-compliant by far. Boy Teaching and Referral Hospital. It is our hospital. It's a referral hospital. Level 5, my friend. Percentage regarding 67% point of meeting. What is the law say? No, 3.3%. Senior. How did that 4% of the picture kabisa Raguela?
There has been a clear demonstration that we don't have equitable distribution of opportunities.
Tume hiyo inasema kuwa upendeleo wa kisiasa bado unaathiri ajira, kwani jamii hizo 8 pia zinashikilia 80%.
Now remember guys, I told you that in Kenya tribalism is very much in the grassroots, and sometimes it goes to the level now when you go to the wards it goes to ethnicity. And this is the reality, but people did not agree with me. Now come and listen to this. The reality in Kenya is that people actually are favored based on tribes. And again, when you look at those tribes, again, these are the elites. People who have been always in politics will be favored more than those whose families have never been in politics. That is the reality. Now, when you look at this aspect, for example, when they are mentioning tribes here and saying that they are taking a lot of opportunities, I wonder, like, would we have Kenya? How I wish I would see the Kenya whereby I see a Turkana, a Masai, like I see the, which other tribe has not been measured a lot. Like if I would see these people actually occupying positions in government, I would understand that there is equity. But now the same people who talk about tribalism, I've been talking here and saying that tribalism in Kenya is up to, I don't know, the blood or whatever. You will find a politician who always says they don't believe in tribalism, they'll impeach someone for tribalism, they don't like shares. They are the same people who will go for, the tenders, they'll go for jobs, they'll go for county governments, and they'll have to favor a certain group. Now, of course, when President I was in Kitui, one of the leaders asked him about it. Yeah? And you can go to the videos and check. That is the reality. We also had a reminder to the president that he has left alone a lot of Ukambani people. You heard yesterday again, bishops indicating that a lot of people from the mountain have most posts and Luos have only 3. So it is about the politics of regions. This is what happened in this Kenya. Be sure. Even as currently as we have the united opposition, when they unite, what are they saying? They are saying they are fighting for their regions. So don't be cheated. Don't be cheated that there is any different aspect that is going to happen in Kenya. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I don't know whether the NCIC is going to change the narrative. I just don't know, because I can see there are discussions around the table and they are not really giving the reality even to the latest. Because you understand that Musalia Mudavadi and we have this guy from Bungoma, Papa Waroma. We had Gachagua and Ruto in a sitting. And when Gachagua came out to say some things, some people didn't want to listen. I wish they listened and understood what exactly he was saying. And he was just talking about what all of them were doing. And that is why you see many parastatals are having people from Uasin Gishu, you know? And then some few being given dotedly to Mount Kenya, and then maybe Nyanza, and then Western, and then this is inequality. And how I wish that this Kenya would just be a balanced nation where everybody has an equal opportunity. They always say education is an equalizer, but I don't agree. It's not. People have connections currently because of who they are. If someone is in politics, they are obviously going to get an upper hand in some things in the Kenya or even in the world. When people are going to Canada for legal jobs, when people are going, I don't know, to Singapore for better jobs, they are going to get it. But the trashes and the leftovers will be for those who don't understand what to do in this Kenya. All right? So, I don't know. Is there something I've not dealt with? I think I've dealt with the majority of the things. And if there is anything left, I'll deal with it later, because I'm just come briefly. Bye-bye for now.